Hey everybody, welcome. It's Oscar with Hobby News Plus. Appreciate you joining me for this video today. And today I want to talk about something that is really important and I think is really affecting card prices across the board. Any sport, non-sport. I think that this one issue is really affecting card prices. And please stay tuned for a really important issue that I think that has to do with WhatNot and Mercari. I don't know if you've used these apps or platforms recently, but there's something going on that I think a lot of people should be aware of. So I wanted to give you guys kind of a brief history in regards to trading cards and online sales and that type of thing. So when it first started off back in the very late 90s, there was basically just eBay. eBay was the number one source, if not the only source, for people to go and buy cards, sell cards. There were auctions, you could make offers, so on and so on. And eBay was basically the king of the hill and the only option for a really long time until a couple of options came on the scene, but they weren't necessarily as popular as eBay. One you might have heard of is blowout forums. So Blowout has been around for a really long time. Their forums attract a lot of hardcore collectors, and throughout the forums and the threads there, people would buy and sell and trade and that type of thing. Also was ComC. ComC was great because I think ComC really focused on lower end cards, maybe cards in the $1 to $20 range, and then of course it's grown a lot since then where you can find a huge variety of different types of cards. ComC is very different because it doesn't offer auctions until they started doing recently, but it's more of a consignment through eBay. You can't go to ComC and click on auctions and that type of thing. So a couple of things that are affecting the industry right now, of course, is overproduction. Let's be real. Almost everything is being overproduced right now, if I could just be frank. Me personally, when it comes to investing, not talking about my personal collection, but actually investing, I'm really not buying anything past 2019, 2020. I feel like the manufacturers just went overboard, and my opinion is there's not too much value in a lot of the stuff that's being released nowadays. So used to be that you could basically go to eBay and this would be where everything was found. You could look at sold auctions, you could look at sold buy it now prices, and that's where a lot of the market kind of got its information from. And in fact, eBay basically replaced the old price guides like Beckett and so on back in the day. So now, if you take a look behind me, we've got Mercari, ComC, you can buy cards on Twitter, WhatNot, eBay, Golden Auctions, PWCC, MySlabs.com, Instagram, Blowout, Facebook, and I even forgot YouTube, and I also forgot TikTok. So I don't know how many different platforms there are. I'm sure I even missed some on top of that. But the good thing is this is really helping collectors as far as pricing is concerned. There's so many different options. Not everyone knows of all of these different options. So card prices are coming down because there's not as much demand. For resellers or investors, this is really hurting people because prices are coming down, and they've been coming down pretty rapidly over about the last 18 months or so. So the fact that we have all of these new options and the different options and how they are and how they interact, for example, eBay, you can list auctions, you can send offers, there's buy it now and so on. PWCC and Golden, for example, are auction houses, so you can send your cards in there to get auctioned. And one thing that I thought was very, very interesting is I'm very much into precious metal gems. Specifically, I like Marvel precious metal gems, and I have been buying and selling them for a few years now. I have noticed a dramatic difference. I'm talking 30%, 40% difference between an eBay auction and a PWCC or a Golden auction. Now, that's not a knock on PWCC or Golden. They have less fees and there's other advantages. But just speaking from what I've seen, these other auctions houses compared to eBay, they're just not even close. So it affects the car prices, but if you're a buyer as opposed to a reseller or an investor, then it's great. Now, the one thing that I really want to talk about in regards to WhatNot, Mercari, and so on, is people, specifically newer collectors, are being gouged. They're being ripped off, and it's a reoccurring thing. Know what you're buying, know what you're getting into, know what teams or team breaks or all of these types of different things. There's so many different options, and I am seeing things go on WhatNot specifically. Mercari is not as bad, but WhatNot, I'm seeing things go for 2 to 3 to 4 times what they're actually worth. This is really hurting the industry because this is newer collectors are going to WhatNot, newer buyers, not necessarily the old school guys like myself, but the newer investor, collector, whatever it might be, you're going to WhatNot and you're just getting crushed. So generally speaking, wanted to just kind of shed some light on one of the main reasons that card prices are dropping and no one is talking about. There's so many different options. These platforms are all very, very different. Some of these platforms, like for example, what I have personally seen on WhatNot, haven't been the greatest example of a new collector or a new, quote unquote hobbyist coming in. There have been some pretty bad experiences from what I have personally seen. So I wanted to shed some light. I hope you guys appreciate the video. Please remember to subscribe if you've come this far. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Give me a thumbs up or a like or whatever it is that you can do to help, and I would definitely appreciate it. Thanks, guys.